Hello everybody, oh, that was a bit awkward. Hello again, it's only me, and this is a bit of an unusual start to my videos because usually it's just my hands to start with, but I'm trying to make a bit of a stop motion animation, and all of this will, get out of the way. All of this will kind of make sense in a second, but I've downloaded this app on my phone and I've kind of created like the tiniest set in the world, and I'm going to have my light on above. I feel like the sun's going to set whilst I'm making this animation, so I'm probably going to shut my curtains and just rely on this light because I don't want the lighting to kind of change as I'm doing it. I'm going to do it out of some Play-Doh. This is from, anyone remember that board game Rapido? It's like Pictionary but with Play-Doh. I was playing it the other day with my family and I was like, hold on, I completely did not realise that we owned Play-Doh. I think I'm going to try and make an animation out of this. So I'm going to crack on with this. I'm going to hand you over to VoiceOver Me and I will catch you up to date with everything that I've been up to since we last spoke. It'll be about 2 weeks actually since we've had a bit of a catch up because I didn't make a video last week. So I'll get you up to date with everything I've been doing and kind of just explain what I'll be up to this week. And I'm going to try and animate something which is really outside my comfort zone and won't be amazing because I am not an animator. Yes, so I'm gonna crack on with this and I'll speak to you soon. Alright, yeah, as promised, the voiceover is here whilst I'm doing this animation. So yeah, I'll fill you in with what I've been up to last week, and like I said, I've been making a lot of GIFs, a lot of animations, so I will pop up on screen right now some of my favourite GIFs which I've made. I have made quite a few, but I'll just show you the best ones, I'll show you the highlights. I've been testing out a bunch of different media, trying to do some with like digitally and then more traditional ones where like, you draw it all by hand and then scan it in. And obviously I'm doing this one now which is 3D stop motion. Oh, I haven't done stop motion in so long, it was taking me back to my childhood. I used to make stop motion Lego videos because I was a bit Lego mad as a kid. It was taking me back to my Lego days. I also had to cut my nails because they were just getting in the way when I was doing this, so I had to give them a trim. I've been making these GIFs for a new uni project that we were given a few weeks ago where we have to make a GIF, a looping GIF. That's what I'll be working on for most of this video. I've got to kind of come up with mocks for my final piece, so I'll be working on that this video. I'm a bit worried it won't be too exciting, but hopefully I can jazz up this video with just little sketches or just other things that I'm doing which aren't uni related. I mean, I still think the stuff I'm doing for uni is a little bit entertaining. I'm just worried with animation it's a lot of like kind of redrawing the same thing again and again but just a little bit different, and I'm worried that might get a little bit boring, but hopefully I can edit it all in an exciting way. Yeah, other than that I've just been doing a few random bits and bobs. This morning we had an online lesson where I made this random comic thing out of found objects. I really enjoyed making that. A little bit experimental, not what I usually do, and all this GIF making is really not what I do. I'm an illustrator. If you're new to my channel, I'm in my first year of illustration. Might be confusing because I'm doing animation here, but this is just like a small little project that we're doing which is about animation, but yeah, for the most part we've been doing illustration. Yeah, doing animation is really outside of my comfort zone. Here's a finished animation of the Play-Doh thing I've been making. I think it turned out really well actually. I'm dead chuffed with this. Really proud of myself. That's it for me today. I'll speak to you in the morning. Now the next day, it's Tuesday. It's currently 10:30. I've had quite a lazy morning, just been lounging about really, but I'm getting to some work now. I got a couple orders which I need to pack first, and I thought I would pack them whilst having a little chat with you guys. Someone has ordered just the peaches. My shop is, oh no, I'm out of corners. I forgot about this. My corner pot is empty. Alright, I've just made some corners. My voice. I've just made some corners. I just fold them out of card and then stick them together using masking tape. Oh, last night I actually ordered a bunch of new prints for a shop update and also a restock of a bunch of prints that have sold out or are really close to selling out. In total, I think I've ordered 330 prints, which is a lot. But hopefully they'll last me a while. I'm planning on doing a separate video though for about like all my shop update stuff, kind of talking through it in a bit more detail, which I'll hopefully make next week. It all just depends on when the prints come. They say they'll arrive by next Wednesday, so hopefully I'll have everything up and running on my shop in 2 weeks' time. Oh, I made magnets in my last video, which I put up on my shop. I was really nervous about it actually, because obviously I've only ever sold prints in the past, so selling magnets I really didn't know if they'd even sell. And after an hour passed by, they just started flying off the shelf. I couldn't believe it. Sold out of my orangutan magnets and my tiger magnets within about 2 hours, and I couldn't believe it. I've currently got 6 magnets left. I've got these stars left. I got 3 of these left. I got 3 apples left as well. I'm definitely going to make some more orangutans because they sold out like really quick, so they were definitely the most popular. So I will make some more of them at some point, hopefully next week, because I'd like to get them up and running at the same time as the shop update. And I'll probably make a couple more tigers as well. I probably won't make any more apples or stars, so if you want one of them, probably the best chance to get one is now, because I'm probably not going to make any more of them. I mean, I'm hoping they'll sell eventually, but they just weren't as popular as the orangutans, which is understandable because the orangutans were really cute and they were my favourite as well. But I just wanted to say a big thank you to anyone who ordered a magnet. It really put a smile on my face. I was literally jumping around my room because I was so happy. I was just really worried that I put a bunch of effort in and no one would really be interested. So yay, thank you very much. I'll just thank you to anyone who buys anything from my shop. We've got a farmhouse and we've got the strawberries. I think after I've done this, for the rest of the day, I want to really get working on planning out my final piece, like my final GIF for this project. I already know what I'm going to do. I've had a good think about it, and I've kind of done a little bit of a storyboard because I can picture it really well in my head, but I don't know if I have the animating ability to create what I can picture in my head. I want my final piece to be quite positive. I want to do something about how lovely it will be at the end of lockdown when we can finally hug people. So my idea is to have these 2 figures hugging each other, and as they hug, like a wave of colour comes out from them and they begin to like spin and kind of hover. Will I be able to pull that off? I don't know, because my animating ability and my animating knowledge is very, very small, and everything I know has been like self-taught. So I'm probably going to have to watch quite a few videos to teach myself how to do what I want to do that's in my head. I really like the look of hand-drawn animation, so I quite like to do it hand-drawn, but it will take a lot longer and probably be a bit more difficult than doing it digitally. There we go, packaged up all neat. I will have these sent in the post box. I'll probably go today actually, because it's just a nice excuse to leave the house to walk to the post box. I keep putting it off because I just really don't want to do it, but I'm going to start trying to figure out this final animation. Right, so I'll see you when I'm doing that. Here I am just cracking on with the animation for my final GIF. This is just a little practice though. It's very rough and scribbly and it's not the cleanest of things, but it was just a little practice to see if I could actually animate what I wanted to animate. I filmed a video as reference of 2 people hugging, which I had at the side of my laptop whilst I was drawing this on my phone, so I could like actually figure out what position the people were in. There's no way I'd be able to do this just straight from my head. I needed the video to help me out a little bit. Drawing it frame by frame, I have it so I can see the frame underneath, so I draw everything kind of in the same position, doing it all in one colour so I don't have to worry about changing colours. So yeah, I think it turned out alright. It's a little bit jittery, and for the final one I want it to be a lot smoother, so I'll have to do more frames and like more in between frames so it's a smoother transition into the hug. I also want to change a few things with the timing. I want the hug to maybe last a bit longer and yeah, just change a few things, but as an initial sort of practice for the final animation I thought it turned out well. I just need to tweak a few things. For the final one as well, it'll be a lot cleaner. I'm thinking of just doing the people as black outlines, although that could change. I'm not quite sure. That's not set in stone at the moment. I want the people quite small on the page so that the swish of colour that emerges once they hug is really the focal point. And here's the final animation. Like I said, it is quite jittery, but I think it's a good starting point for me to work on and try and improve for my final. And this took quite a while as well, so this was the whole day of me working pretty much. Yeah, moving on to the next day. I've been working pretty hard. Well, I started working after dinner. I had quite a chill morning, not doing much, but I've been working hard since dinner, and it's now nearly 3:30, and I have made... let me zoom in. Here we go. Well, I've adjusted the animation I did yesterday. I didn't film any of it because it can just get a bit repetitive. I've added in, as you can see, I'll pop it up on screen actually. I've added in a bit of a shadow and this big blob of colour coming out of them, and also made them hover so it looks a bit more like what I have envisioned in my head. I've added in a few extra frames so they now circle twice around each other. Yeah, just adjusted a few things, but it took me quite a while to do. I thought I would also pop in to show you my Google Slides, cause I feel like they are a nice representation of the work I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, so I will pop them up on screen now whilst I have a little chat about them. I feel like a broken record when I say this, but just in case anyone new is watching and has no idea what's going on, the Google Slides are an online sketchbook. It's how the teachers see our work. So I think the last thing you saw on my Google Slides was this project, then this was the final piece for my last project, and then this is a new project. Yeah, so this is a bunch of research of some GIFs which I found, which I really like the look of, and a bit more writing about GIFs. Oh, and here's, you'll recognise this. I thought I would just pop in some of the animations I've made in the past. This is a very bad animation I did on paper, not very smooth, of an orangutan waving a leaf around. The GIFs won't be the best quality as you're watching them on this screen recording because it kind of glitches and goes a bit slow because, I don't know, internet maybe, I'm not quite sure. So you've seen this as well. These are some of the individual frames in this GIF, playing around with the order of them a bit. Oh, this one's fun. I scanned in a bunch of collage bits of paper which I have left over from when I did this project. I had so many little scraps of paper left over which were tiny, but I thought, no Emily, don't throw them away because I'm sure they'll come in handy one day. And look at that, they all came in handy. And then I drew into it again to make this little pew 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 little thing there. This is the sunset which I showed you at the beginning of this video. I thought this was interesting because you can see all the individual frames which come together to make this. This is what you saw at the beginning of the video, so nothing new there. This was from an online lesson which we had where we was looking at telling sort of narrative and making a comic. We had to use a random picture generator and you had to use that picture to make a comic. So yeah, this is my Wiggly Man comic. They're reaching up to touch the sun. We had to find a bunch of random objects from around our house and just take a picture of them. And then from that we turned the random objects, you had to make more of a comic out of them with my Play-Doh and my radish and my piece of chalk. This was my mind map to come up with my final idea of what I'm making now in this video. My initial sketches of the hug. In my head, the big blob will be very colourful and hopefully will look quite cool. And then this is all what I've been working on in the video. So yeah, you're up to date. There's a lot of random gaps. I need to go back and add all my writing into everything like on these slides, but I can't bring myself to do it because it's not very exciting to do. Okay, so for the rest of the day then, I'm kind of a bit fed up of animating. I've been doing it for quite a while, so I'm going to have a little break. I want to just sketch something or do a bit of doodling in my personal sketchbook, so this won't be related to uni work. But yeah, I'm just in the mood to maybe, I don't know, do some tigers. I feel like I'm enjoying a lot of tigers lately, but I just enjoy it, so I'm going to draw some tigers. Hello, voiceovers here for a bit, kind of explain what's going on here. I had this page in my sketchbook where I attempted to paint some orangutans and it just went extremely badly. So I kind of abandoned that page for quite a while, and the other day I just had a bunch of paint left over, so I decided I'm finally going to paint over this hideous orangutan painting. The page is kind of painted a mix of pink and white and a little bit yellow, but it's mainly pink, the page, and I just thought I'd go in with my pens. I wasn't sure how the pens would work on the paint, but I actually really liked the way the pens felt like drawing on the paint, because obviously paint's quite a smooth surface compared to the paper, so the pens, honestly, they were just gliding all over the place. And then I could even, because they went on quite wet because they didn't soak in immediately to the paper like they would like on normal paper because of the paint, I could even like rub the pen to kind of smudge it out a little bit, which was fun. And also because the pens are kind of a little bit translucent, everything had this pink tone to it, so all the colours matched really nicely. So I'm definitely going to try drawing on top of paint again, because I really liked the way it looked. It was a fun thing to do. I recommend it. These pens are the Arteza brush pens. I really like them. I got them for Christmas, and yeah, they're really fun. Good range of colours on them. Oh, I also used my white Posca pen to draw on top of the pink. Obviously you can see where the white is. I had some pictures for reference, but majority of it was just drawn from my head. Drawing straight away, didn't sketch anything, going with the flow. I really like the way these pages turned out. A little bit of fun, quite rough, quite loose, but I quite like that. Hello again, it's now the next day, it's Thursday morning. I've been putting this off for so long and I just really don't want to do it, because if this fails, I really don't know what I'm going to do for my final piece, but I'm going to try and attempt to animate, let me get it up. So you know how I've got this I've got this big blob of sort of colour coming out of the people. Well, I really want to animate that by hand. I have traced each frame, and I'm going to use my watercolours and then the coloured pencils. Maybe, I don't really know. I did a little colour mock-up last night of just different colour ideas, although I'm not really crazy about any of them, to be honest, so I might, make up something on the spot. So wish me luck, because I have no idea if this is even going to work. Done. My goodness, that took quite a while. I think I've been going at this for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. I really don't even know if it's gonna work, so I could have put all this effort in for nothing. I think it's looking okay. The colours for the final one I'll probably tweak, and I don't know. This is just a practice. I might even try out different media, but just wanted to see if it was possible. So I'm gonna scan this in now and try and edit it all together, make it move. Yeah, so I'll do that. Voiceover's going to be here for the rest of this video now. I just showed you then just before, a split second ago, the final animation of that little swish thing. It's getting close to what I want. It's a step in the direction, but it's not what I envision for my final piece, and I really don't know how to explain what I can see in my head. I want the final sort of swoosh of colour to be kind of see-through and smoky a little bit, but also really colourful, but not super colourful, because I don't want it to be like overpowering, but I don't know. I'll have to figure that all out next week. If you want to see my final GIF, I'll probably just post it on Instagram. I don't think I'll film me making it because it's going to be quite a stressful process, and I imagine filming it will just it'll make it a little bit more stressful. So I'm probably going to do that just all in my own time. I won't film it, but I will post me bits of it on Instagram. If you want to keep up to date with it, follow me on there. The link to my Instagram is in the description. Anyway, what's going on now? After a long day of animating, I really just wanted to draw something for me. Obviously, not all the time uni work is going to be the most exciting thing to do, and especially making GIFs. Although I really like the end result of the GIFs, I don't find them really the most exciting things to do because it is just kind of redrawing the same thing again and again, and it can be quite tedious to do sometimes. So I just really wanted to draw some flowers really. After I animated all day, I had a nice long shower and I was thinking, right Emily, what are you going to draw? And I just really wanted to draw some flowers, so I went on Pinterest and found a bunch of flowers which I liked and took inspiration from quite a few pictures to draw these things. You saw me before just putting down some masking fluid for a painting on the right hand side of the page, and whilst that was drying I thought I would just do a quick little felt tip pen drawing just to fill the time. Plus I really like drawing in felt tip pens. I just love the immediacy of them. It's like you want some colour, boom, there it is. You don't have to spend with pencils, you have to press on quite hard or do a few layers if you want the colour to be there as saturated as you want it. With watercolours again, I build up the layers layer by layer to build up the colour that I actually want, but with felt tip pens it's just boom, the colour's there. And there's not a lot of faffing about with pens. There's also very easy to make a mistake in pens, but I just kind of embrace the mistakes and roll with them. So I did those flowers on the left hand side of the page just with my Arteza felt tip pens. I think they're called the Twee. I'm gonna go with Twee markers. They've got two different sides to them. One is a brush tip and then the other is just a thin little, I don't know what you call them, they're called bullet nibs, thin little nib on the other side for thin details. And then here I am doing a watercolour painting of some flowers. Like I mentioned before, I did put down some masking fluid to mask out all the shapes of the flowers at the front because it would have just taken me years to try and paint around all of them. So you just put down the masking fluid and then you can paint on top of it and you don't have to worry about leaving a bunch of white space where you want the page to remain quite light. The watercolours I use are by the brand Winsor & Newton. They're the only watercolours I've ever had, but I really like them, so I don't have anything to compare them to, but I don't have any complaints about them. Oh, here I am peeling up the masking fluid. This is so satisfying to do, but it also kind of feels a little bit like bogies. So it also feels quite weird, and it kind of ripped up my page in one spot, but to be fair I did put it down quite thick in that area, so it's kind of understandable that it ripped, but it was only a tiny bit, so it was fine. I also went over the watercolour in some coloured pencil, but I forgot to film that, and this is just a little bit of a doodle to fill in the side of the page of, I don't know, a flower with a lot of colourful leaves. And that concludes this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been quite different to usual because I've been animating and that's not what I usually do, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously I'm not amazing at animating, so they're not the best of things, but I am quite new to it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me learn and try and do something which I'm not that comfortable at. And yeah, this is a finished spread of that page. I really like it actually. Yeah, I'll be back next week with, I think I'm going to make a shop update video because I'm planning on doing a lot for my shop next week because I've got my new prints arriving. I'm probably going to make some more magnets as well, so that'll be next week's video, and I'll see you soon.